You're watching Arts and Culture Stories with Khushboo Bagga, and today with us we have an illustrious Indian artist, Amit Ambalal Ji, with us on the podcast. Before we start, I would like to thank our supporting partners, Petal Foundation and Chaulaz Heritage Jewellery. Amit Ji is a master of blending traditional Indian aesthetics with contemporary expressions. With a career spanning several decades, his artistic journey is a vibrant tapestry of colors, culture, and creativity. Renowned for his joyful paintings, sculptures, and installations, he effortlessly captures the essence of everyday life while infusing his work with elements of mythology, spirituality, and personal introspection. Amitji, please throw some light on the early years of your life. You come from an illustrious business family, so what inspired you to take up arts?
Actually, my mother, she used to do painting, and one renowned Gujarati veteran artist, Chaulaz would come to teach her. I would sit beside her and watch her. Chagan Bhai also encouraged me to do little doodles kind of a thing. Then I was made to join Shreya school when I was 6 or 7, I would say. That was run by Leena Sarabhai. So when I was during the class, I would do doodles in the notebook. And when she saw that this boy has little liking for art, so she gave me a blackboard and a chalk. She said, allowed me to do whatever you like. Even the class teacher was teaching maths. And then she would ring up my parents that today Amit did such a beautiful painting of an elephant or Krishna kind of. But then my parents, especially my father, he was little scared that this boy would become a painter in later life. And so I was put up in St. Xavier School. But my painting did continue. I think that was something very compulsive. So even when I was studying, I did graduation in arts, commerce and law. But the only reason was this, it was not that I wanted that knowledge or anything. But the more I could study, then that would save my time at home, kind of not to go to the industry. As soon as I would finish the education, I'll have to join the industry, business. But ultimately, I had to join the business. And I was doing everything with a kind of duty. But there was not the sixth sense which is required for anything creative, which would come to my help in even business. You require that in some kind of inner
Inspiration, motivation.
Absolutely. And so, at one fine day, when I was 36, I had to take a decision either this way or that. I told my father, because being the only son to my father, it was my duty, or he expected me to join and continue the family business, which was since generations. Fortunately, he could understand my feelings. And so within 3 or 4 days, we sold the mill, and immediately I sat in the studio. That was in the year 1979. And since 81, in 81, I had my first show in Ahmedabad, then in Baroda, then in Calcutta, and then the journey started. So that's the story.
Wow, so it was truly your calling. Arts was your calling.
Absolutely.
You've mentioned several times before that you've been inspired by the paintings of Nathdwara and even the concept of Leela. So how do those concepts influence your work, especially in these contemporary times?
See, around 70s, actually, since independence, our artists wanted the new language, to be away from the tradition and have our own contemporary or modern art.
Yes.
And their inspiration was mainly Paris, Picasso and various artists. But gradually one felt that this is not our, it doesn't have root in India. And so the artist started seeking for some indigenous language. Some took from something from our tantric symbols. And I was also searching for a language which would suit my nature, I would say. And at that time I came across some paintings of Nathandwara school, Krishna Leela paintings. I very much liked that kind of an immediate message, no? Just playfulness, bright colors, and there was no kind of a negativity or kind of a sad thought in it. It was such a joyous. And I liked when, and then I started asking people, what is this? Oh, what is the subject? Why this is this? And I like the concept of Leela or a play, cosmic play. This everything is a kind of a cosmic play, joyous play of the divine. So I liked even that idea for my painting also, kind of a play, just enjoying, gossiping with the canvas and having fun with the canvas.
So also your works have a very joyful narrative to it, like you said. And some of the figures that we see in your paintings, we also see those figures here around your studio, like the monkeys, the crows. So could you share some personal experience that inspired your work and led to some of the paintings?
First of all, I still have many friends who are really big artists. And I always tell them that your paintings, which you call high art, are very boring, and I don't like those paintings. I have to have fun with the art. In a way, my paintings are kind of a daily diary or autobiographies. Something that is happening around me becomes the starting point for the painting. The immediate thing I see, or who are my neighbors, are monkeys, crows, peacocks. But through them, I could see certain human situations, some idea, if you want to express some kind of emotional thing,
Some
or
humor.
some social something. So I like their body language. They don't speak, but through their body language, they convey their inner ideas, everything. So to express certain human situations, certain human expressions, I just involve these body movements, birds, animals, to express my ideas, my experience with the humans. And they are very, very cooperative in the sense I can use any color that I want. I can twist and turn these people in my way to make a painting effective.
True. So how do you develop your ideas for your paintings? Could you walk us through your thought process?
Being a figurative painting, abstraction, those who do in abstract painting, they can work in their own way. But being a figurative artist, I have to always keep my eyes open to see certain situations, certain things that goes with my language of art. So even in the newspaper, when I see something interesting, I just cut it out and keep for my. Then sometimes certain Gujarati proverbs, that makes me start thinking, how should I? But then the most important thing is this: I would narrate one incident. Once in Mumbai, Hussain was doing large paintings in the Pandol gallery. The gallery was closed for people, and he was. So when I was in Mumbai and Hussain came to know, called me, then he would show me his paintings. So with one painting, I said, Hussain Saab, this is the best painting because it has a good geometry. So वो खुश हो गए, he was very happy. He said yesterday Akbar Padamsi had come and he also said that after all, what is a painting? It is geometry. What I sort of understood in this way, that the arrangement of the images, colors should be in such a way that the canvas should become a kind of a magnetic field. It has come to life. So I start a painting with any subject that that has struck to me from the newspaper, magazine, or from the daily life. But while doing so, I am very conscious that it has to have that. Otherwise, if I express that idea the way it struck to me, it would end up as an illustration. But it has to end up as a painting. So then the story starts. I keep on changing until I enter into a very area of surprise where I enjoy, oh, how this has come. It's a kind of a moment of magic, that's what I call. Suddenly the painting comes to life. So this whole process of painting is meant to get that surprise and that joy of some excitement. कैसे हुआ?
Right.
So that's the process.
True. What other art forms, apart from painting and sculpture, are you fond of? For example, music, cinema, theatre, or any cultural form of dances that you like or has an impact in your life?
See, I would quote one incident. Ravi Shankar Rawal, the grand old artist of Gujarat. I was in my younger days would go to see him. He would say that see a dance. What's the people just see dance as a dance, but they don't know what's the geometry of the dance. How it is so scientifical arrangement of the body. So when I see a dance, I see from that point of view how it makes the space around come to life. I would tell once, Mrunalini Sarabhai said, Mrunalini, when you just raise a hand, the whole space around you comes to life. So she would be happy. So looking at dance or music, I see from my point of view, what are the new things, what things make a dance or a music come to life. So I daily I listen to classical music, Bhimsen Joshi, Kishori Amonkar or Pandit Omkar Nath Ji. And I relate this whole thing to my process of painting also.
Okay, interesting. So, apart from painting and sculptures, is there any other form of art that you would like to attempt or you have attempted? You would like to explore something new?
As such, yes and no, I would say in 70s or late 60s, to be specific in 69, I had made a film and then small 3 minutes film and added music to it. And it was so well received. Hussein also admired and they kept on asking me, Abhi kuch naya banaya, kuch kind of.
And what was the subject?
It was absolutely abstract.
Okay.
And it was wonderful. That's what people said. It came in the press also. So it's likely that, of course, there is nothing in my mind for that. But film would be something that
you could have attempted.
To give life to to give movement to my painting. I would see in that way how the painting can come to movement.
Wow, we would love to see that.
Please pray to God I can do a film.
Definitely. What are your thoughts about contemporary art in India and how it's progressing today?
Now I feel that it has taken roots in the Indian soil. Okay. And because of that kind of an exposure to whatever now, because of this media, you come to know whatever is happening all around the world immediately. So the art vocabulary of the artist, Indian artist, has grown considerably large. So the paintings are quite, artists are trying new things, trying experiments. I would like to narrate one thing. Bhupen Khakkar, very well-known artist. So when I would ask him, Bhupen, ये painter का कैसा काम लगता है? He said, I don't like his work. I would say, why? Because he always does good painting. So when the artist is in comfort zone, there is less possibility of something new to come. So today the artists are trying various things, various materials, various expressions. So that's a very good sign.
True. So I guess beauty is in imperfection also. So one should not be fearful of
To be very
attempting.
frank, I don't like perfect art. It doesn't create any
Same here. Yeah, it's monotonous to see, and there's
monotonous.
nothing new.
And it is so predictable, I would say. So,
Very true. Very true. So now let's ask you some lighter questions.
yes.
Have your grandchildren interacted with your art, and how do they respond to it?
So, I knew this question you will ask me. So, I asked the same question to my grandchildren,
Okay.
granddaughters.
Okay.
And they said, Dada, you tell her that we enjoy looking at your paintings.
Wow.
They are not involved in the process itself. But in their childhood, they all had a talent. I would keep their little doodles or paintings in my studio. And I would also, at this point, remind of Picasso saying that I can do like Rembrandt or Raphael after a study of 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
But to do like a child, I will take the whole life. So that innocence and that freshness, I always got inspiration from their work that I had pinned in my studio.
Okay. In a hypothetical situation, if you had to choose only one piece of your work to represent who you truly are, which work would it be?
In my career of 50 years as an artist, as such, I would say 80 years, because right from my birth I was involved in my art in one way or the other. But there might be many paintings. But at the moment I am reminded of my painting, which is titled Birds of a Feather Flock Together. Once in a newspaper I saw Muslims praying namaz, and I liked the whole pattern, the way the images were creating a pattern. So I thought, let me try with this subject. And I did a painting showing women with colorful clothes, saris, offering prayers. Their hairs arranged in such a way that they look like the beaks of the birds. I did everything as per what I had thought. But then I felt that ये कुछ बनता नहीं, it doesn't come as a painting, it has remained at a level of illustration. And I was wondering at that very moment, a peacock passed by my window, and I saw the neck diagonal head of the peacock.
Wow, the magic moment,
The magic
as you
moment.
say.
And I put that whole large neck and head of the peacock, and everything came right. And then also it kind of created a sort of a message. They're doing prayers, and this peacock is saying, what are you searching for? I am here. Kind of God is everywhere, God is in beauty. You see God in me, kind of. So I like this.
Wow. What advice would you give to the artists of today who are perhaps just about to start their journey?
First of all, the thing has to, there has to be big exposure, whatever is happening around in the world. Secondly, it has to come from one's own experience, something that one can relate to. And I think I have seen the foreign artists, there is a discipline, they work really very hard. So that is a must.
Okay.
And keeping less eye on the sellability of the art. Otherwise, you would think of see your painting with the eyes of a buyer.
Buyers, what they like.
So one should allow the inner thing to come.
True.
It has to come from beyond mind. So that is most important.
Wow. If you have to choose one painting from another artist to put up in your house, which one would it be and why?
It's such a difficult question. Well, I know I like Matisse, Picasso, Miro, and even our Ram Kinkar Bhai, so many artists I like. But then one painting by Hussein, it's a large painting, it's a Spider and the Lamb by Hussein. He did years before. And I always liked it because it grows within me. So when we were in, Hussein was keen to see us in Dubai. He was in his last year there. He took me, I'll show you. I said, Hussein Saab, this is the turning point in our Indian art, your painting is. And Gazab ka painting mujhe laga tha. It had a magic, something, why spider, why lamb? And then there were initials of certain names, E, A, O kind of. I said, is it some Mohenjo-daro script? No. He said, these are the first letters of the names of my beloveds. So
Okay,
it
how
was
sweet.
such a fun.
Yeah. Are there any young artists from 90s or from today's generation that you're fond of or whose work you really like?
I would uh, say this in context of Ahmedabad. There might be many young artists everywhere.
Of course, all across.
But this Vyom is a good artist, young artist, trying with various materials, various imagery. He has a good exposure. So I think there is a great hope in him.
Yeah. He experiments a lot.
Experiments
which is
a lot.
beautiful.
And quite unpredictable. He doesn't sort of, ये जो मन में आया वो करता है.
Yeah, he has a very edgy language to his
Absolutely.
artworks. Now, time for some fun questions. If you were a color, what color would you be?
The color that I am wearing now,
Okay, blue.
blue, somehow it's a compulsive color. No? When I go to the shop to buy fabric for my kurta, and I would prefer blue. So now the whole range of blue is in my closet.
Wow.
And one of the reasons why I like Nathadwara paintings is the way they use ultramarine blue. Nobody can use like that. And then the image of Krishna is also blue. Maybe because of that reason I like Krishna. I don't know. But blue I like.
Blue is also considered a very positive color. Yeah, so I think that's how I understand now that you want joyous. Your paintings are joyous narratives. It has positive narrative, and that's what you like, and the color also.
Could be.
Beautiful. If you weren't an artist, what other profession do you think you would have pursued?
Well, I would have preferred to be a singer, but
Oh.
I have a terrible voice. So,
Oh. Okay.
but somehow I like
Music.
music.
If you were to collaborate with a fictional character from a book or a movie for an art project, who would it be, and what kind of art would you create together?
Most difficult question. You may be aware or not, I don't know. Du Buffet is an artist, maybe from the West. He worked like a child, and so that could be also the artist with whom I would collaborate. But if we talk about the Indian artists, then I would love to work with Ram Kinkar Baij, who was of the Bengal school.
Okay.
What a great sculptures he has done. Fabulous. I would love to be with him, to watch him doing the things.
Okay. So do you think your paintings and his painting coming together like a...
Which is likely.
Okay. Have you taken inspirations from his painting and put it in your art as well?
Not directly. But suppose I am stuck up at some point, then so many artists come to my help. Nathadwara artists,
Okay.
Ravindranath, or many. So Ram Kinkar Baij could be one of them.
Okay. If you could swap lives with any artist, living or dead, for a week, who would it be?
See, artists like Bhupen Khakkar, quite a fun to be with him. The way he looked at things, the way he interpreted the things they saw was a great fun. And whatever gossips we used to make would come in his paintings. Something was kind of his paintings were almost like his daily diary. Sometimes he would ring me up. See, I have ended up my painting in this way. And I would say, oh, this is something that we talked when you were here. So, and we traveled a lot, Sri Lanka and this and that places. And that was the fun. From art painting point of view as well as from the company.
How lovely. So the fun banter, the chit chat, the gossips.
Yes,
all
and
we
everything
see.
related to, I mean, it would be, you would see in the paintings also.
Yeah, even in your paintings, I've
Yes.
seen that. Thank you, dear Amit Ji, for
No, it
taking
was a
out your
pleasure.
precious time for talking with us on the podcast.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you. And before we say goodbye to you, we would again like to thank our partners, Petal Foundation and Chaulaz Heritage Jewellery. So, Amit Ji, this is a ceramic plate that you have to sign for us for the podcast. And Amit Ji, this is for you from our partner, Chaulaz Heritage Jewellery.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.